last night, and in a second attempt, the House voted 214 to 213 to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. So what happens next? Well, the articles of impeachment that the House passed head to the Senate. The House is expected to formally present those impeachment articles to the Senate on February 26. That's when both the House and the Senate return from President's Day recess. From there, two things can happen. The Senate will either schedule an impeachment trial, or the majority of the Senate could vote to reinterpret the rules, which could speed up, delay, or dismiss the articles of impeachment. And if the Senate does decide to hold a trial on the impeachment articles, House Speaker Mike Johnson is ready for it. Speaker Johnson has already named 11 Republican impeachment managers to make the case to the Senate on why Mayorkas should be convicted on the articles. Mississippi Congressman and one of the 11 impeachment managers named by the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, joins me. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you. Just so we sort of explain it, I mean, this is a political action, not a criminal, but an impeachment article is sort of like an indictment, but not. And the managers are sort of like the prosecutors, but not. They're the ones who present it for trial in the Senate. So that you're one of the 11 people who will be presenting it. What directions do you have, if any, from the Speaker of the House as how you should prepare?
You know, we're still waiting on some final information from the Speaker. We expect to have this later this week. There have been some ongoing conversations between the Speaker's office and the members that will serve as the managers. In this case, I have the opportunity, along with Chairman Green, to be two of the managers served. And you're exactly right. This is very similar to a criminal prosecution. My prior background is I was a prosecutor before coming to Congress. And so we are preparing to prosecute both phases of the impeachment, both the fact that we believe and the evidence has shown that Secretary Mayorkas has refused to enforce the law, and also the second articles of the impeachment that he has breached the public trust.
What if he was doing exactly as the President of the United States said, Biden, that this was Biden's policy, this is how he wanted this carried out? Does that still make him vulnerable to impeachment?
It does. The obligation falls on him, not the president. Or conviction, I should say.
Conviction.
Yes, ma'am. You know, the obligation falls on the Secretary of Homeland Security, not the President. And so if Mayorkas were to come in and he were to make the argument before the Senate is that he should not be removed because he was clearly following the orders of his superiors, that would not be a valid defense. Secretary Mayorkas, he has the responsibility to secure our border. He has the responsibility to remove and deport immigrants. And he has been the one that has violated the public trust by his lying to Congress, not the president. And so that would not be a defense that he could rely upon in this impeachment matter. And if he made that defense, I hope that the Senate would outright deny that.
What's your best estimate of when a trial will start, assuming that that a trial does start in the Senate?
You know, just looking at precedent in former cases, the articles of impeachment will be presented to the Senate. They will be read. The Senate then will quickly be sworn in. But the Senate has the ability to give Mr. Mayorkas the opportunity to respond to those allegations in writing. That time to respond could be a matter of days or a matter of weeks. And so that would be up to Schumer. That would be up as the presiding officer of the Senate as to the length of time that he has to respond. I know that we also have appropriations bills that will be on the House and Senate floor on both the 1st and the 8th. I think we can chew gum and walk at the same time, so I think we can take up both matters simultaneously. But if they chose to give the Secretary an additional time to respond past the 8th, we as impeachment managers will be ready to go forward whenever we have the opportunity to prosecute the articles of impeachment.
Congressman Michael Guest, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great evening.
Thank you.